Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our...
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett might sit down with none other than Leo Jenkins. Leo is the popular author of Lest We Forget, an Army Ranger medic story, and On Assimilation, a Ranger's return home from war, as well as a contributing writer to Violence of Action, The Untold Stories of the 75th Ranger Regiment in the War on Terror, and Ranger Knowledge, the all-inclusive study guide for Rangers, or SOF Rep. Jenkins served multiple combat deployments as a special operations medic in the 75th Ranger Regiment during the height of the global war on terrorism. He's traveled... Wow, dude, you traveled through over 36 countries, consumed a beer in all 50 states, and continues to seek the road less traveled. So, welcome, Leo Jenkins, which that's fantastic. You are also in Nomadic Veterans, right, as one of the crazy fucks who goes across country and raises money for vets, and just an all-around badass ranger dude in our circle of friends. So, it's great to have you on here. Right, there you go. So this is
the most distinguished I've ever felt after that. That's a lot. Yeah. I've done some things I didn't even realize. Shit. I've been drunk this whole time. I didn't realize that any of that stuff occurred.
Yeah,
I appreciate you reminding me. That's epic.
Yeah, no problem. I love giving the verbal ice bucket challenge every once in a while and really bringing people back into reality. Yeah, dude, you've been adding some serious fucking value to the world. So what are you up to now? You down in Mexico, like banging Latina hotties, or what's up?
Yeah, right now I'm perfecting my concoction, the poor man's margarita, which is essentially an $8 bottle of Jimador tequila and a bottle of Fresca, and you just dump both of those into one giant cup, and you just get your blood flowing. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm up to currently.
Nice. So that's like right before you start writing. This is like my like Hunter S. Thompson progression, right? Like it's in the evening now, so like have you ever read Hunter S. Thompson's like diet regime for writing? It's insane. The dude wakes up at 3:00 in the afternoon, and it's just like a series of different types of drugs. And by 10:00 at night, he's ready to start writing. But it's like it's everything, right? Like I'm not on that level by any means. Like I like to tip a glass every now and then. But right. You're not a full blown professional.
Yeah, no, I'm an experienced amateur.
Right, I like it.
Right on. Oh shit.
So you're in Mexico right now.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Don't come here.
I have to say, our first international podcast, right?
Yeah.
No. Wes was in Canada.
Oh, Wes was in Canada. Sorry.
Canada's not a different
it's like
country.
It's state, really.
It can't. It's not. It's like America's hat.
Right. It's like a kick-ass loft apartment above a bitchin' sweet party. That's what it reminds me of.
So one of the things I did say it to you on Facebook, and you did, but congratulations on your recent engagement.
Thank you, to a Canadian.
Right. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah. She's apologizing to me as we speak.
Right. So that's pretty awesome. So you're rolling through the travels with her?
Yeah, we decided that if we have a child here in Mexico, we're going to name the poor little thing NAFTA.
Really? Love it.
Oh my God.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice little trade agreement.
Oh my God.
Why not name your child after a trade agreement? It's all good.
I mean, we're connecting the continent. That's all I'm concerned
For
about.
the financially savvy. That's fantastic. La Nino.
And the other
I'm sorry, my sound effect guy is sick. He's not here today. He normally would be here with a snare drum for all my terrible jokes.
What do you got there? Is that your pooch in the background making all that noise?
I'm on the beach right now, and so there's dogs everywhere.
I'm on a beach in Mexico.
So why is it so dangerous?
Drinking
right
tequila and fresco like a man.
It's actually not dangerous. I just don't want more people to come here.
That's it. I hear you. So where are you in Mexico?
It's my favorite little town in the world.
And he's not going to bring it up because it's freaking covert.
Here's the thing. I don't want other people coming here. All right. I will say this: I'm less than an hour north of Cabo San Lucas.
Nice.
In the Baja Peninsula,
Yes.
on the beach. I think if anybody's halfway savvy with the Google machine, they can figure out where I'm at. But yeah, it's the Baja Peninsula is amazing, but it's dangerous. So don't come here.
It's freaking
Right.
It's on a do not enter
You're
list.
gonna get your head cut off on the internet if you go there. It's a
Immediately upon crossing the border, you will be murdered. You will be murdered. So
Murder,
don't come here and
death,
bother
kill.
me.
Murder, death, kill. What was that from? Murder, death, kill. What movie was that from in the 80s?
Dude, Judge Dredd, bro.
Yes.
Every
Murder, death,
restaurant
kill.
is Taco Bell. Sorry,
Oh
I'm sorry.
my
I didn't mean
God.
to spike here. I just got excited.
Whew.
Wesley Snipes, and Sylvester Stallone in one piece of.
Oh, Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
What did I said? Judge Dredd, didn't I?
Murder,
Yeah.
death, kill.
Demolition
Murder, death,
Man.
kill, right? Yeah.
He doesn't know what the 3 seashells are.
Is that Demolition
shit.
Man or is that Judge Dredd? Which
I
one?
don't know. It was murder, death,
I-
kill. I know that much. It was murder, death, kill. I don't know.
Either
We're
way,
way the
either way,
fuck
it's a
off
Sylvester
topic.
Stallone movie.
Way
It
off.
was definitely a Stallone movie.
Right.
It had Sandra Bullock in it. Sandra Bullock was in there.
That's Demolition Man.
That's Demolition Man.
I'm going all the way.
Snipes,
Yeah.
little tax evasion.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are disappointed in me right now because I pulled Judge Dredd.
Dude,
Yeah.
Wesley.
Oh, the
You know
law.
what? The remake is pretty good, actually.
It is?
There's a remake? There's a remake?
There
yeah,
is.
it's not bad.
I saw it
I've been living
fly by
I've been
on
living in
Netflix.
a van in a third world country for 2 years, man.
there
Like,
you
I
go.
don't know. There's some movies coming out.
Yeah, rough life. What are you doing? Like surfing every day, or what's the daily reg?
I was on a kick for a while. Every day is totally different at this point. I'm getting ready. Actually, tomorrow, I'm taking my beautiful fiance to the airport. She's in a master's program at Columbia, so she's got her summer semester that kicks off.
Gotta
in
head
a
back
couple
to New
days.
York, huh?
Oh, and I'm not.
Damn.
No, I've got the social experiment coming up. I don't know how familiar you are with David Henry Thoreau's book,
Oh, yeah.
Walden.
Heading into the woods.
Sort of. I'm going to have a 21st century spin on it. Instead of a cabin, I'm going to have a camp. I have my camper here. I'm just going to stay in that and kick myself off of social media for an undisclosed amount of time. And I'm going to kind of journal, but write a whole lot. So my daily routine is going to shift a little bit come tomorrow. It's more or less going to consist of waking up, drinking a pot of coffee, writing until I can't see the screen anymore, then surfing until my arms don't work anymore, coming back, having some lunch, and then writing some more, drinking until I can't feel my face, writing some more, and then passing out and repeating for 3 straight weeks.
That is fantastic. So that's why today worked so very well for our interview.
No, this is literally the last communication that I'm going to have with the outside world for quite some time.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So you've actually
cool.
done, yeah, it is really cool. You've done a couple podcasts lately, though. So you did Drinking Bros. What about a month ago? About a month ago.
I legitimately don't remember not a minute of that show.
But it was. We actually talked about this before we got on air, but yeah.
No, JT,
that
guy he's a mad genius, right? Like he just baited me in. I love the guy to death, man. He's like one of the most creative human beings I've ever been around. But he just kind of likes mess with people a little bit. And I was getting ready for the Drunken Debrief, the Double Tap Gear, Eli, awesome guy, awesome company, right? We had arranged to meet at JT's house to do the Drunken Debrief, to tell the story while I'm hammered, and I dedicated myself to be. I might not have the best military stories, right? Like there's plenty of people out there, we know them, you know them, I know them, that have phenomenal military stories, and I know that I can't top some of those guys. So my goal on Drunken Debrief was to be the drunkest person that's ever been and ever will be on the show. And I commenced that with a bottle of Lead Slinger's whiskey, a bottle of homemade moonshine that a friend of mine from Ranger Regiment gave to me as a gift for the release of my last book, First Train Out of Denver, an hour and a half before my initial signing and reading. Right, like the book launch, and he's like, "Hey, dude, just take a sip. It's kind of strong, whatever." Tasted like water, right? So of course I get bomb drunk on it, and halfway through my reading, it kicks in, and I'm like, I'm hammered, and I'm trying to read to like 60 people in this fucking bookstore, and I'm drunk as shit. Right? So I have 3/4 of that bottle left, so I'm like starting to take nips off of that while pounding Lead Slingers, and I had a 12-pack of beer and stuff. Like, just like I said before, I'm a professional. Right. Like,
right. Exactly. You Hemingway'd the fuck out of that, bro.
I Hemingway'd the living shit. If Hemingway and Hunter S. Thompson made Sweet Sweet Man Love and had a child in that moment, it would be me.
At knife point.
I was that in the tank. And JT's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you're going to be on our podcast in a little bit."
That's awesome. So what? So it's you. So it's JT. It's Vincent.
And Matt Best, yeah.
And is that it, or is Ross Patterson?
No, and Ross Patterson, right? Like, so I still haven't even listened to this podcast. I haven't heard it at all because everyone's like, "Bro, you said some stuff about some chick on Tinder and a dolphin head," and I'm like, "Oh, I told the dolphin head Tinder girl story. That's not good. That's not good. My future in-laws could listen to this. I'm done. I'm in this
There's a dolphin head Tinder girl story floating around.
We've talked about dolphin rape on this show before, so
it's just real. You got to watch out, son.
Watch
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck sharks. You get raped out there, bro. I'm just saying.
I've had interactions with sharks surfing by myself in the water, and I'm not nearly as terrified of a shark as I am from dolphins. Dolphins, legitimate. Look it up. Pull up your Google machine right now. Get your Google machine out. Mm-hmm. Dolphins legitimately rape people every year.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. One of my buddies. All right, so when I was in the Marine Corps, I'm just going to tell a real quick sea story for everyone's enjoyment.
Dude, this
before you
actually talked about that.
Bennett, before you go, can I just say you have a beautifully raspy voice?
Well, thank you, Leo.
It's like you have like a sexy radio voice.
It's even better in person, my friend.
Oh, dude. Wait until you hear him voice 50 Shades of Grey. Or even Vagina Mama. It's good.
50 Shades of Porn, that's what it is. It's not 50 Shades of Grey. Fuck a bunch of gray. So, it's what I lured my wife in with. So I'm just saying.
That's how you do it. Instead of like a glory hole, you just talk to her.
Just talk to her. Come on, baby. Just throw the Barry White down on it. That's it. So, all right. So we are now. This is 1990, like 94-ish, right?
Back in the old Corps.
We're finning about a quarter mile. Yeah, in the Marine Corps. So we're finning because I was in reconnaissance in the Marine Corps. So we spent like literally 3/4 of our time in the water. So we were out in the Atlantic Ocean off Onslow Beach at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and we're finning, just doing like an exercise type fin, right? Down parallel to the beach. We finned about, I don't know, quarter mile offshore and then went a few miles downshore. Well, Onslow Beach is actually, they filmed like Shark Weeks and shit there because there's a hammerhead breeding ground about a quarter of a mile, or it's really about a mile off the end of one of the piers that used to be there before it got shackled by a freaking hurricane. But anyway, so they filmed Shark Week for hammerheads, right? It's a hammerhead breeding ground out off of the end of Risley, what used to be Risley Pier down on Onslow Beach. So we're always finning on alert. You know, if you don't fuck with, you know, they're not going to fuck with you if you don't act like a seal or something. So either way, there's a lot of bottlenose in the area too, though.
Like the hair gel types, or The marine mammal type.
The marine mammal types. So like,
okay.
Exactly. Yes. The guys that write all the books and shit. Yes. Right. So anyway, so you've got
those guys.
Sometimes I love it. Yes. So anyway, so we're finning through, and me and my swim partner are sitting there just swimming, sweating our asses off because it's in the middle of summer, it's hot, but there's also a lot of dolphin in the area. So we know at that point you kind of know you're safe, other than the rape part.
That's actually not true. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but dolphins and sharks feed predominantly on the same thing. So there's a bunch of dolphins around. People are like, oh, that means there's not sharks around. Actually, there's a bunch of dolphins around. There's a better chance that there's sharks around.
Oh shit! So either way, well, at the time, that's what we thought. That's what they brainwashed us with, right? So either way, we had seen a couple like breathing spouts pop up when they surfaced. So we're like, all right, well, we're good. So we're finning along, and all of a sudden, my swim buddy, just freaks the fuck out. I mean, dude freaks out. And I swear to you, this dude walked on water. He was finning so hard. He was finning so hard that he came out of the water heading towards shore because he's like, I got bumped. I got hit. It's like, is there blood in the water? He got hit so hard that he thought he got bit by a shark.
Oh, my God.
Turns out he got hit by a dolphin.
Oh, my God.
And we're all freaking rescue boats coming over. We're freaking out, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a 1,500-pound animal bumping you in the water. Shit's no joke.
I've heard this story twice now, and every time it reminds me of that movie, The Sasquatch Gang, where the guy's like, oh yeah, I could do that. And he's like, he says that he can run like a lizard across the water because you're like, oh yeah, this dude wearing bins.
I swear to God.
If you haven't seen it, you need to check that movie out. It's hilarious.
This dude did walk across the water.
Oh my God.
Please tell me you gave him some kind of fun nickname after that.
Oh, well, not really. I mean, he already
Dolphin Pete.
Dolphin Boy. I mean, I called him Dolphin Boy for a little while.
I would have called him Flippers Bitch. Flippers Bitch.
Flippers Bitch.
Flippers Bitch.
Fantastic. I can still do it because I know the guy still, so it's pretty fun. Flippers Bitch. So let me ask you a question, Leo. Honest opinion on Lead Slinger's whiskey.
I'm going to get, honest to God truth. This is hard for me to say.
If you actually remember it or not.
No, I remember tasting it. I don't remember what I did a bottle and a half into it. I'm not, no joke. I did just under 2 bottles in one day.
Oh, yeah.
At JT's house.
Holy shit.
It is the best whiskey at that price point that you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I ask is because I'm actually drinking it right now.
If we could get it in fucking Mexico, I would be drinking it as well. But instead, I'm drinking an $8 bottle of Jimador tequila with Fresca.
Which,
God.
By all means, tequila with Fresca sounds delicious to me. But.
It's the poor man's margarita.
It sounds like the dude went to Mexico is what it sounds like.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I have to throw this out there. One of the reasons why this is my favorite town in the world, it's a fishing village of 2,000 people. However, there's one bar here. The name of that bar is the Little Lebowski Lounge. At the Little Lebowski Lounge, they have the Big Lebowski playing on repeat 24/7. It's actually where my fiance and I first met. They've got a bunch of memorabilia, and the dude makes a mean Caucasian. Jimmy is the bartender's name.
Jimmy the bartender makes a mean Caucasian.
Yes.
Why did Jackie Treehorn draw cock and balls on that pad of paper?
Wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess.
If you had that artistic ability, because the symmetry of it was perfect.
It really was, but did he just...
What's on your mind, right? You're the porn mogul. What's on your mind? Big dicks all the time. You're the porn mogul.
Yeah. But it was left-handed, too. You notice that? It was going from right to left, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the replay on that.
You've seen that movie a couple of times.
Couple.
kudos to you, sir.
Oh yeah.
So I have to ask, because I know you don't want to disclose this information. We could do it off air after, but I have to find out exactly where you are, because The Big Lebowski is like my favorite movie in the freaking world.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
I pretty much ascribe to be the dude. And
it's funny because everyone says I'm like Walter.
Yes.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Leo, not everything has to be about Iraq.
Right. My buddies didn't die face down in the mud.
Out of the muck.
Walter.
Yes.
Walter is amazing.
It tied the room together. It tied the room together.
My fiance and I legitimately met in a Big Lebowski themed bar in Mexico.
It is
So awesome.
That's real.
I obviously have a winner
That's
there.
so fantastic.
Yeah, and she's Canadian, so she apologizes for things that weren't her fault and is really good with maple syrup.
That's
Dude, she makes things out of maple syrup that I never thought could be made out of maple
Did she
syrup.
keep her stick on the ice?
Are you a fan of poutine?
Oh, she introduced me to poutine.
Dude, it's amazing.
Poutine
How
is
has poutine?
banging.
How has poutine not made its way into the United States of America?
Oh, it
Essentially,
has.
we have is,
In a huge way.
Hey!
See,
people who are listening right now, if you don't know what poutine is, I get it. I know what it sounds
but you're
like.
fucking
Calm your mind down, all right? You sickos.
I don't know. In some ways, it's better than the other kind of poutine. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
More than one way, it's less expensive.
Yeah,
For one.
that's true.
I don't pay for that shit. I'm handsome. What were you saying?
French fries, gravy, cheese curds, just to start. And now you can also have it with different, like you can have it with bacon.
Poached egg?
Like duck confit, some,
But let's talk about the base of this dish. It's French fries and gravy and cheese curds. Why is this not in every restaurant in the United States of America?
The best thing ever, though, is when you have the French fries that are actually cooked in duck fat. And it's on like another level, my friend.
I'm legitimately getting fatter just talking about this, and I'm okay with that.
God. Well, see, I spent 6 years on Fort Drum, right? Stationed at Fort Drum. And then I spent the next...
So you're right there.
Yeah, so I spent the next 9 living in Syracuse, New York. So I actually met my wife in Alexandria Bay, New York, which is literally you could spit on Canada from. So her parents had a summer residence there, and we used to drive over the border all the time. And oh my God, dude, I just don't understand how poutine is not like a staple of the American diet. It's literally everything that America loves: the sweet, salty, fat. Everything.
You know what we did though, right? Like, because we were so upset, like passive aggressively, that we don't have poutine, is that we went and bought out Tim Hortons.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
Yes.
So, like it's like now Burger King owns the largest franchise, restaurant franchise in all of Canada, which is sad to me because to me, like, well, I'm American through and through. So like I like my fast food chains, I have pride in them, right? Like I'm like, yeah, Jack in the Box, I love your tacos, right? Like McDonald's, you've done so many great things in my life. I love your Happy Meal, and those toy cars that I got when I was a kid, I still have a couple of them. They're tucked away in a box someplace in my dad's basement, but they're there. I love my fast food chains, and I think that that's part of our national identity. Part of me was a little bit sad when Burger King came in and swapped out Timmy's, right?
Timmy's, right?
However, we are the front runners. We're the imperialist country in the world, so that's what we do. We sneak in, we take over your fast food chain, and next is going to be the poutine. I think we're going to have it. I would give it 3 to 5 years. We're gonna dominate the Canadian food market.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, when you show up here in Raleigh, I'll take you down to the Raleigh Times, and they have banging poutine. It is awesome. Yep, that's it.
We're gonna open the first ever poutine joint here in Mexico.
Good call.
And yeah, right.
Maybe do a cart. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of keep it on the street, keep it on the beach,
right? Yeah, keep it on the beach.
You know, maybe like a cone with poutine. I'm just throwing it your way. See what sticks.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, I would walk around shit-faced eating that.
like an awesome taco cart, but different.
There you go.
Yeah, but why pay exactly? And why pay taxes?
Right, exactly. Why pay?
Put it in a cart. Put it in a cart.
Right, bastards.
So talk to me, Leo. Are you writing for Ready Man now?
No, a good friend of mine, Mr. Marty Skovlund, I believe is
Marty Skovlund Jr.
Skovlund. No, I love Ready Man. I really do enjoy everything they do. They won't return my phone calls though.
Why not? What's up with that?
I keep sending them emails saying, "Hey, look, guys, I'd love to write some pieces for you. I don't know if you know this, but I've put some content out. I'm not a shabby author, and it's like I'm a fat girl. They won't return my call."
So what do you think? What do you think of your buddy Marty's traveling all over the U.S. in his van?
I love his van. I actually, after I think it was like 8 months into his journey, I finally got to see it. He did a wonderful job with it. His wife Lauren, an amazing human being.
A little decorator, happens to be a decorator, right?
Yeah, right. She's a professional interior design artist, right? So like, the van that he coasted around in significantly better on the, as far as the aesthetic appeal than the one that I lived in for close to 2 years, driving from Alaska to Panama. No, I think it's rad, right? Like Marty's that guy that's like, oh, you want to tell me that you can't do it? Then I'm going to do it just to show you that you can do it, right? The trip that we did together, the Nomadic Veteran trip, we raised close to $30,000 for the veteran charity Gallant Few in 3 weeks with almost no preparatory work whatsoever for that. We just, let's do it, right? His wife was 7 months pregnant with their first child when we started that trip. And a lot of people are like, oh, I really want to, but I have this thing. He's like, there's no good time for charity, right? Like there's no convenient time to lend yourself to being charitable, right? But like Marty he's not a talker, he's a doer very much, right? And so a lot of people they're like, oh, I wish I could travel around the country, but I have kids, so I can't do it. So Marty's like, oh, really? Watch this. I'm gonna get a van with my 1-year-old and my wife and my dog
and your dog,
and travel around the United States just to show you that actually, yes, you can do it. Like he would never say that, right? Marty would never say that. He's a humble guy, but he's very much about action. That's one of the things that I love about him is he's a guy who does, you know. And if you can't see that, like, oh man, maybe my excuses are actually just bullshit, because this guy is raising money for veteran charity organizations, traveling across 2 continents and 8 countries, raising $30,000 in 3 weeks for a veteran charity, doing a dozen different national interviews while his wife is 7 months pregnant. What fucking excuse do I have? You know, like if you can't see that with Marty's actions, then you're completely blind, right? Like he's a man of action. He's a super cool guy, super humble guy, a little bit goofy. It's why I fucking love him to death, right? Like I write about him. He's like, he's the main character in my last book, First Train Out of Denver, right? And like his nuances and everything. He's a super interesting guy. But he's a man of action and very few words. He does, and he doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
He just rolls, and frankly, so does his wife.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She Lauren's like it was funny for me being around it, right? Because at the time, totally single. I was in Santiago, Chile when Marty Skyped me. I had won the Latin America CrossFit Games Open, so I came in first overall out of like 7,000 guys in Latin America. I was living
You stole it from them.
Oh yeah, the Gringo came in and snagged it up.
The Gringo came in and stole that shit.
Hashtag Team Gringo right here all day, every day, right? Like 22 countries. Like I take it. I'm down in Santiago, Chile, and he's like, "Hey man, like, do you want to go on this travel thing with me?" He says this, And I was actually more intrigued and more interested and more focused on what he proposed to me the day before that than actually competing at regionals.
Right.
It was more interesting to me than the idea of working out in front of thousands of people on a clock. It's an exercise for time, right? And like, I love CrossFit, don't get me wrong. But like the idea of traveling to raise money for a veteran charity to me is far and away.
That's fucking epic.
It's so much more interesting than exercising on the clock, right? Like, that's just my opinion.
It's like as soon as somebody would say hopping trains to me, I'd be like, I'm in.
The thing is, he didn't even say that. He said, "Hey, you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll fly." I flew back. I got to when I got to Denver. That's really when he keyed me in on the whole plan. All he said is just make sure you have a passport. I was like, bro, I'm in Santiago, Chile. I have a passport. I'm good. But he's like, okay, well, then we'll talk more about it when you get back. Right. I was like, I'll be there in a couple weeks. But it was funny because, like, I'm sitting around, like, I'm drinking, right? And, like, everyone's, like, bombarding his wife, Lauren, with these questions. Like, well, I can't believe you're going to let your husband go and do this while you're 7 months pregnant, all this stuff. And, like, well, what's your take? She just kept going. He's a grown-ass man. Like, I'm not going to tell him what to do or what not to do. And I was like, oh, my God. You're fucking awesome.
So the story you tell in the first train out of Denver before the night before you guys actually leave, fucking hysterical.
Yeah,
I think that should be your first sea story.
Yeah, I was not sober.
Not even fucking close.
I was sobrietily challenged that day.
Sobrietily challenged.
So all right, so we had a plan worked out. We had another ranger buddy of ours that was an engineer on for a train company that I won't disclose. He kind of gave us some ins and outs and was going to help us out, train schedule, where to go, all this stuff. So we knew like about sometime between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning that was going to be a go. Well, we had there was a baby shower of a friend of mine, but it was male female. They wanted it to be a really cool thing, and I went and I was like, I'll have a beer or two. I'm not going to get drunk because I got to hop this train. My ex-girlfriend showed up at this baby shower. And so I started fucking getting hammered, right? From there, we went to another barbecue. It's honestly like your ex-girlfriend shows up with her new boyfriend, and they start like he's kind of passive aggressive. He's skinny jean wearing dude, and I was just like I just kind of want to stand over here in the corner and drink an entire bottle of Jameson. It wasn't like a regret thing. It was just like that was the catalyst, right? So I ended up consuming that amount of alcohol, then going to a barbecue, and then at our good friend Kyle Faber's house, I hadn't packed yet, right? Like I'd been living out of a backpack. I sold everything that I owned in the world probably 5 months before that. I was living out of this backpack, but I hadn't packed it correctly. And I started just smashing more Chilean moonshine that I brought back with me from Santiago at the 0 hour of our trip. And I couldn't even get off the floor. I'm in Ranger panties and a Felix the Cat t-shirt. I have no there's in my backpack there's no socks packed. There's I guess my buddy told me there was like 24 condoms. I have no socks. I have no boots, and I'm getting ready to do this essentially this Ruck March, and I'm passed out on the kitchen floor of my buddy's house. And I get kind of like rabbled up and up and going, and and so on and so forth. But yeah, like the lead up to our trip was interesting because Marty's wife, Lauren, I think that she wanted him to he was going to do it no matter what. I think the reason why he messaged me initially was because his wife wanted another responsible adult, preferably a medic. That would be great, right? To go along with him. And she's sitting there at the 0 hour watching me in Ranger panties and a Felix the Cat t-shirt, which, by the way, I traded with someone else for that t-shirt at the party before that. So it was 2 sizes too small. It didn't really fit me. I'm pretty much passed out on the floor, and she was like, and she still let him go with me, right? Like she didn't put the foot down. Coolest chick, right? Like that's a military wife, right? That's a Ranger wife. That's
right.
That's like, all right. Well, he's done dumber stuff with stupider people, so
right on orders.
On orders, right? But yeah, super, like just awesome family, right? Like, the night going into that was real interesting, and then it was 3 weeks, and we went from Denver, Colorado to Slovenia in Eastern Europe with nothing but $100 in a backpack.
Slovenia, for God's sakes.
Yeah, my feet were hamburger at the end. I got pictures of it. They're bleeding. It was amazing. It was just like fucking the end of Ranger and Doc.
So I actually finished your book like about a week and a half ago.
Yeah?
The newest book, First Train Out of Denver. And I think I was one of the first people to actually get it, frankly, from Amazon. But my favorite quote, since we're talking about like Hemingway shit, my favorite quote out of the book, because I love how you preface every chapter with a quote, is there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your fellow self. By Ernest Hemingway. And Michael Penny's a big Ernest Hemingway fan. I knew that you would appreciate that quote, my friend Michael Penny.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's my favorite quote out of that book.
Hemingway's an interesting character, right?
Dude, just the weird dude.
He was a double agent.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The guys, I'm not gonna bullshit. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Ernest Hemingway's writing, per se. Like, I think there's certain things that he's written that is poignant and here and there.
Of course.
But as a whole, I'm not a huge fan of his writing. I'm just not. But his life, right, and the way that he lived his life is so fascinating to me.
There's some correlation really between like him and you, and the fact that you kind
of
we're
both drunk. Is that what, hey, no, Bennett, are you calling me a drunk?
Because I'm a drunk too, so I can't really say that. So but what it comes down to is you kind of do what you want to do, and there's that freedom that's put out there. I think especially every veteran can kind of take pause and say, listen, we have the skills and we have the knowledge to, for the most part, not every Joe, not every Marine, not every whatever, but for the most part, we have the knowledge and the skills to just kind of, we know when we're adding value and we know when we're living the life that we need to live. And I feel like more guys need to get out there and do that, to truly add value to the world and kind of just, man, just be good. Just be good people and do shit from their heart.
I think that a lot of people, to piggyback on that, I think a lot of people that are coming out of the military don't, after a couple of years, right, it's easy to forget the things that you accomplished when you were in the military. It's easy to forget where you were and where you ascended to, right? Like, and your own personal ability to take that and apply that to any other domain anywhere, right?
Right.
And like, this is anecdotal, and it's just my experience. But 3 years ago, I didn't even know that I knew how to write, right? But I dedicated myself to that, and in a way that's no different than the way that I dedicated myself to be the best soldier that I could be, to be the best ranger, and then eventually the best medic that I could be. It's an all or nothing mentality that I think that the best Marines, sailors, airmen, and soldiers have, is that I'm going to dedicate myself to this. And those that do that excel, beyond measure. And it's something that you kind of have to rise to the nature of your particular situation. You have to rise to it, right? Like, whether it's like Marine boot camp in the Crucible, or like whatever, or you're in Buds, or you're in PJ and Doc, or whatever it is, you have to rise. You are not the man that is capable of finishing that when you start. you have to rise to that fucking occasion. You have to.
Yeah, it's about the true commitment. And if you decide that that's what you want to do, it truly is. It's truly up to you.
Your ability to do that one time, right?
Right.
Suggests that you can do that repeatedly. And what a lot of guys forget when they get out is like, oh yeah, I did that. That was like Glory. That was my high school football days when I was starting, whatever, blah 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 blah. Dude, you rose to an occasion. You became something bigger and better than you were previously. And you get out, and this is a pitfall. I wrote about this significantly in my second book on Assimilation. It's significantly more somber than Lest We Forget our first train. But you forget about the ability that you have to rise to that occasion. You are a man of action, right? Like you stood up in that moment. Your feet were bleeding. You were tired. You were hungry. All these things, and you became something more than you were previously. You still have the ability to do that and apply that to anything that you set your mind to, right? But we forget about that. And every single person who's gone through those trials and tribulations, who's stood in front of that fire and walked away from their military service has that ability. It's just, how do you choose to apply it?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think one of the other huge missteps that a lot of returning vets have is trying to figure out whatever the next game plan is, and there isn't a script for how you're going to live your life. So it's one of those things to where, the adventure is your own adventure. You don't have to live. There's no such thing as a standard life. That's the whole point. There is no standard to hold it up against. So comparison between yours and someone else's, it's completely irrelevant. Doesn't matter. You just go and do your own thing.
It's an exceptionally relevant point. In the military, you have, this is what you're doing today. This is your course of action. The next 6-month training plan to your deployment. We're going to lay this out to you. So everyone actually does have that. And then as soon as you get out, now it's been removed from you, right? It's like, well, shit. Like it's not that you're not capable of achieving amazing things, but there's an adjustment phase, right? And again, that's why I titled the book on assimilation. There's an assimilation phase where you have to kind of work over that adjustment to figure out how you are going to make it yourself. Not that you're not capable, it's just that you don't have somebody who's prepared and laid out your entire training plan for the next 6 to 12 months for you. You're more than capable of doing that yourself. It's just a matter of being that man of action that that you are. It's just hidden there. It can become tumultuous when you forget those things.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you got for us as far as your links are concerned? Where can people find your book, purchase the book, anything else that you've done?
I'm completely Googleable. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Because if you Google Leo Jenkins, it'll pop up.
Yeah, you go on Amazon, type in Leo Jenkins. If you want to read one of my books, then it's there. Otherwise, just send me a personal message and I'll send you a free copy. That's not real. I won't do that. I don't have them. I'm in Mexico. I'm sorry. Like I would love to. I get that a lot. Like I would absolutely love nothing more than to send a free personalized signed copy to everyone. But I legitimately, I don't have a home. I've lived nomadically legitimately for 2.5 years. I don't have copies of my book that I can sign and send off, but you can go on Amazon and you can type in my name and Leo Jenkins and you'll find my work and Marty Skovlund's work, maybe the documentary we talked about, which was, I'm proud to say, the first time I ever co-produced a documentary, won the top award of the GI Film Festival. It was I think that's a pretty cool thing.
And we actually saw it. We actually saw it there. So
I was supposed to be there. I was actually here in the same town that I am now. We would have actually hung out, and would have tried to drink you under the table, successful or not, and that's to be determined. But I broke 2 ribs surfing here, and I legitimately.
No, that's horrible.
I told Marty, I was like, dude, I'm not getting on a plane and flying to DC right now, man. Like, I have 2 broken ribs. Like, I broke them yesterday. I'm not doing it. The documentary, if you want to watch that, I think that it's a cool thing. Keep in mind, we had one very small handheld camera, and we just kind of did it very, very raw. That said, it's a very cool documentary. I think the point shines through very well. And then if you're a reader, there's some stuff out there that maybe you want to pick up. I don't know.
Hey, man.
Maybe not.
I love your story in First Train Out of Denver about the guy in Santiago, or was it? So it's CrossFit Games. The guy that brought his copy of On Assimilation.
Yeah.
To the CrossFit Games to have you sign it.
Adam,
it's fucking amazing. That is just an amazing story.
The guy's an Air Force veteran from he living in Ohio, right. And he was in Santiago, Chile. I don't know, like if you're familiar with.
Oh no, I've been to Santiago.
Santiago is about as far away from where I live as you can possibly be in the world. And he came up to me in the warm-up tent while I was getting ready for workout 4 with a copy of my book and asked me to sign it. And I'm like I didn't even consider myself to be a writer at that time. Like I put that book out. I was talking to Nick Irving earlier today, and I was like, dude, when I wrote Lest We Forget, I legitimately thought that 100 people would buy that book.
Right.
I thought it would be like the guys in my platoon and the maybe some of my family and some of my friends. And this guy comes up to me with a copy of it, legitimately as far away in the world as you can get from where I grew up, right, and asked me to autograph it for him. And it completely shattered my entire paradigm of who I am as a human being and what I'm capable of. It's when I first actually considered myself potentially I'm actually meant to be a writer.
Right. Maybe I'm actually legit. Right.
Yeah. And then I had another guy in Germany ask me the same thing. He had a copy of my book. He wanted me to sign it. And again, that's it to the east as far. And it's just like, I guess the bottom line of that is every human being, you never know how many people you can affect.
Yeah, you never
impact.
Know, man.
And I had no idea. Like that wasn't my intention with that. It just kind of happened that way. But the things that we do, our actions, and the way that we carry ourselves, it impacts it.
Well, it's like this theory. This theory of one is better than none. You know what I mean? Like even whatever your shit is, all right, good, bad, or ugly, whatever your shit is, as long as you're putting it out with the intent on affecting one person, is life changing. I mean, you never know. You never know. That
was my goal with On Assimilation. I was like, I don't care how many copies this book sells. It almost killed me. I legitimately, On Assimilation is an exceptionally dark book.
I own a copy, and I'd love to have you sign all of them, but you know what? Someday it'll get there. But at that point, I understand what you're saying.
It almost buried me writing that book, right? Like it was exceptionally dark, but my goal with it wasn't to sell any copies. Again, the goal was that this book could get in the hands of one person, right? That it would impact enough to not take their own life.
Well, I can tell you that unfortunately, I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's fortunate. I can tell you for sure that I am one of those guys. It was very impactful upon my life when I read it. I really, a lot that you put forth resonated. So I just want to thank you for adding that value to the world, to our community, and frankly, if you haven't read it and you've got issues, I feel like it's one of those books that will kind of like put you over the edge to kind of like just realize that you have shit to offer the world, you know, and stop fucking around and get on it. And it kind of, you know, it's one of those things that helped me along my journey. So I want to thank you personally for that. Even though it came out years after I got out in 2003, but I pushed that shit down for fucking a decade. Yeah. And really that was it, man.
Well, I don't think that words can describe how much I appreciate that. Like, legitimately, that is the reason why I wrote that book. It's the reason why I went back through all of that turmoil. Shit. Yeah, we're in a podcast, right? We can say shit, right? Like, it's a reason why I went through all that again. It was just so like guys understood that like there's a lot of dudes out there who just haven't found it yet, right? And that's the thing, right? And I've had 5 of my good friends that have killed themselves after they've gotten out of the military, and those guys just didn't find it yet, you know? It took me you said a decade. It took me 7 fucking years to find my it.
Yeah, it took me, I got in 03. It really took me until 2014. So almost 11 years to really find my it.
Takes fucking time to find it.
Because we push it down, we have all kinds of other shit. And until I went to EBV, it was one of those things. Like I didn't see myself as a veteran. It's because I dropped my pack, dude, and I was like so anti all of it. Like, you know, fuck you. Like, you know, I mean, I had done shit back in the 90s that, you know, it's supposedly the non-combatant Cold War, whatever time, but being in Reconnaissance, we did a lot of addiction shit in Central America, South America, and the places that you love and cherish. But you know, there's fucking some nasty shit going on down there too. At least in the 90s there was. Oh no,
I've had conversations with all the locals, trust me, like all the way, every one of these countries.
So I was knee deep in that shit before guys that even knew about Iraq or Afghanistan even existed. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that I look back on and I go, God, man, you know. So it's like nobody got me even before that. Like even guys I served with from, you know, like 2000 to 2003 didn't even get it.
It's like Thug Life in his Tricolors Heartbreak Ridge style fucking bam, car 98 fucking running a gun in through Colombia and shit.
Right. Like, but like, no, all that shit. But at the end of the day, same, you know, it's the same blood and the same mud. And, you know,
every time you talk about that shit, it reminds me of Clear and Present Danger. I just go like Willem Dafoe in the Aviators. Let's get Bing out of this motherfucker. We got a pull. What's that?
Two things. One, Miguel Pene, I thought you were asleep. I thought.
Get the fuck.
And then two, Heartbreak Ridge reference. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Fist bump, high five.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hell yes.
Yeah, Camp Lejeune is Camp Pendleton, if you didn't know.
Right.
I thought you went for another adult libation. You were over here. Bennett and I were like just stroking each other's wands for a while, and I was like, man,
God's honest truth. I muted the microphone and grabbed the Jergens. I started hitting up.
I missed you. That's really what I'm getting at, is that I missed you. Right. You know what I mean? Like down in my core.
Right. No, I feel you.
See, I'm the deep one. I actually get deep on that shit. Like I get all cerebral, and Penny just brings the fucking chaos.
You guys are sucking each other's cock.
Oh, stop it. So anyway, Leo Jenkins. So you've traded in the van and gotten a camper.
Yeah, the thing is, when you get engaged, you have to have a place for your fiance to poop.
Right, you got to expand a little, right?
She's like, this is awesome and all, but I can't take a dump anywhere. Is that how it went?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into my fiance's dumping habits, not because I don't want to, because I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I think a van is very, very appropriate, very cool thing to live in for one person. And you have two people that each have 6 totally different hobbies. Yeah. Mind you, we had 6 surfboards, a 15-foot kayak, rock climbing gear, everything in that van that you can imagine, right? Plus it had solar panels
and a pull-up bar.
And a pull-up bar. I fixed it so that I can fucking make sure that I get up in the gym working on my fitness, dog. That's how I do.
I got it.
I don't want to lose my swole, even though I'm in Guatemala, you know. No, we upgraded a little bit. We got a F-350 with a camper on it, and it's
beautiful.
Now. So
looking at it, I'm actually looking on it at it on Instagram right now. It's beautiful.
It's a good situation. I don't have to shit in a Walmart bag anymore.
Jesus Christ. You're wag bagging it. There you go.
Bagging it. Shit, I love it. Dude, you fit in on this episode. You fit in on this freaking podcast more than you even know.
So well.
So well.
I think I might have mispronounced poignant earlier, so if we could erase that, I would appreciate it.
And the other thing I'm looking at on Instagram right now is you and JT sitting on a couch, fucking swinging out of Lead Slinger's whiskey.
Oh, dude, we drink. I love that guy. He's a fucking savant and a half, and by that I mean he's retarded.
I've never met him, but he looks like an amazing person.
Dude, he's such a fucking retard. I told you before, I first met this guy. He fucking, I'm not even kidding. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, get on Skype right now." I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole telling me to get on Skype right now? And I have to download Skype because I didn't even have it. He was like, "Hey, fucker, where you at?" I was like, "Phoenix." He's like, "I'm in El Paso. Come here right now." And a couple of the other guys was like, "Oh, yeah, come here." And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I drove to El Paso to hang out with these fucking idiots, right? Like, I drove 7 hours by myself because I was like, well, these guys are the most eccentric human beings I think I've ever encountered. But, and we end up the first day, he's like, "You know what we're going to do? We're going to make the greatest sandwich that any man's ever made." We went and spent $80 at the grocery store to make a sandwich for two people.
Killing like $80 at like Safeway.
It was legitimately at Safeway. It wasn't
I know Arizona. I know El Paso, man.
Dude, it was Safeway. We spent $80 to make a fucking sandwich. But that's just how JT is. Like, he doesn't do anything half-assed. That guy's like, "Hey, I got an idea." Like, if JT says, "I have an idea," dude, just fucking hold on, because shit's about to get nutty.
Nice.
So you're originally from Arizona, right?
Yeah, Phoenix, born and raised.
Yeah, baby. It's one of my favorite places in the world.
Really? Well, you should probably go to more places in the world.
I know.
That place fucking sucks.
No, I used to go out there like summers when I was a kid.
You went to Phoenix in the summers, and that's your favorite place in the world? That's like being like, Baghdad's my favorite place in the world.
It's like spring break. So like April, right?
Oh man, it's because it's the first place you ever saw tits, isn't it?
No, that's what it is, because it's so hot. Chicks won't even wear clothes there because it's 472 degrees Celsius. So chicks can't wear fucking bras.
Might have been the first place I saw tits.
Yeah.
Honestly, listen.
I knew it.
We're having a breakthrough, Bennett. I'm feeling this. We're having a breakthrough. Man.
It's like 12, probably like 12, 13, and we're talking about Ahwatukee. You know where that's at?
It's the meth capital of Arizona.
Right, like right outside Tempe.
In contention with Guadalupe. Guadalupe and Ahwatukee are the meth capital. They have nothing on the whole state of New Mexico, but those are the meth capitals.
Shit. So my uncle's, so it's my uncle-in-law, I guess you could say. So my aunt's husband's parents lived in Ahwatukee. So I used to go out there pretty regularly and then I would spend spring break between there, and I would go to my grandma's house in Green Valley, Arizona. I don't know if you know where that's at. It's about 28 miles south of Tucson.
Tucson, I believe is pronounced.
Tucson.
Yes, I'm pretty sure grammatically it's
Tucson. Either way, I spent a lot of fucking time out there as a kid. and I used to love it. I don't know, I just loved it. So
you're a weird guy, Bennett.
Dude, I loved it.
You're a weird fucking guy. I hope that hey, can we make a pact right now on this podcast in front of the entire world that someday we're gonna do shrooms together?
I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's all do shrooms together because you're an interesting guy because no one really likes that place that you just talked about.
I know, dude.
But
you know what I do?
I'm thinking maybe you come down to Baja, Mexico, and we find some peyote. Maybe some ayahuasca and
ayahuasca is yes.
This is happening.
Yes, please.
I feel a road trip coming on.
How do you feel about doing the first ever podcast on hallucinogenics?
Yeah, no, I mean I'm all about some ayahuasca.
I don't know if it's the first ever, but sure.
But right. Well, Tim Ferriss might have us on that one. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Okay, well let's go for the most then.
I'll tell you what we could do. This is the last time that you're communicating with the outside world. When you come back, the first time that you communicate with the outside world, we should all just be fucked up on peyote. You know?
Well, I'm gonna be fucked up on peyote for a while.
Right.
So I'll be used to it. I'll have a tolerance. I believe by the time I come back to the real world, I have a good peyote tolerance. I got a peyote guy.
I need to see a little shaman about some ayahuasca. That's all I'm saying.
Show up in Baja.
No, I'm just saying I need to get through the demons and I need to purge that shit.
That's a real thing.
No, I know. I know.
That is a
all right. So honestly, story from this weekend, right? All right. So there's I'm moving back up to Syracuse, but there's a group at Syracuse University called the Moral Injury Project. Okay. So we're not going to go deep into that shit, like moral injury and the difference between post-traumatic stress and moral injury. But either way, I went to this workshop, okay? So it's a moral injury workshop.
What the hell is going on over here? Is anybody dead?
It's just ice. It's called ice.
Is anybody dead?
So
what happened?
We got
Jesus. This guy's on the beach.
Stop. Penny, stop talking. So we got Reiki, we got meditation, we got yoga, we got a couple different things, right? So we went through the shit at the Moral Injury Project, and the next day, or not the next day, but that night, basically it was all about cleansing, right? Cleansing cleansing the demons that we're carrying along from our service and whatnot, right? So I literally
he's making a fucking
I'm pouring tequila, leave me alone.
He's making a fucking whatever.
Is that like
so we freaking literally
oh my god. I'm at work right now.
Are at work, and that's amazing. So we literally
the bottle's gone.
Literally purged the demons the next morning. I shit you not, I sat on the shitter and I just like exorcised demons, and then I freaking I literally shivered for like 3 hours, wrapped up in a sheet, purging the demons that were inside me. I went through an exorcism, for God's sake. So that's
cleansing.
That's what I do with ayahuasca. I want to get on.
I told you, Bennett, I'm here. I'll hold your hand.
He's gonna be your guide.
I'll be your shaman.
He's a fucking medic. Shaman. He's a medic, bro. He's a medic.
If you need me to stick my finger in your ass, trust me, I'm there.
It's plenty of experience.
I just need a guide for some ayahuasca.
Just hold my hand and take me on this journey.
I literally have some shit to purge.
I know some people.
Oh my god.
What's the other one? There's ayahuasca, and then there's another one that's from like Africa.
Ayahuasca and peyote are the only ones that I'm familiar with.
Someone from Africa, Penny. Do you remember?
No, not off the top of my head.
Come on.
I don't fucking know. I mean, like
AIDS?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do not.
I'm about hallucinogens here. I'm talking about.
Oh, but you're sure it's not AIDS?
It's probably.
Pretty sure it's not AIDS.
I would even go so far as to have him rock a dental dam if you want to go that far on the entire continent. I'm throwing it out there. I know that's fucked up. It's not. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly what you're talking about. But that's... the next time you come back to the real world, we'll all eat hallucinogenics together, okay?
No, that's not the deal. The deal is that you guys come down to the not real world. So that there's not really...
I'd rather... Are
you peeing right now on the beach?
Homeboy,
are you peeing on the beach?
Ever. We have that shit on fucking...
I had to piss, man. I drank a whole bottle of tequila. Of course I had to piss. I'm just a man, all right? I'm human. Alcohol inhibits your antidiuretic hormone. It's just science.
Leo Jenkins.
Yep. Had to pee on the beach, man.
If you haven't already done so, click subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Player FM. Oh my God, that's awesome.
This might be the best episode of the year.
Leo Jenkins, you're a phenomenal human being. I just need you to understand that.
I don't agree with you in the slightest.
I'm totally taking you up on the ayahuasca thing, though.
Yeah, that's
dude. We should. You guys are both invited. Are we still in the air?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Oh shit. Okay. I thought maybe we might have clipped out there for a second, but no. I mean, we're going to do a commitment ceremony here in Mexico.
No commitment. It's just
no. Well,
he means his marriage, dude.
Not me and you, buddy. Not me and you. My fiance and I. I love you. I love your voice. You're a soothing.
Hey. At the end of the day, hey, I'm just telling you. I'm putting this out there. I can marry you too.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
That's frightening. On
no, I'm
levels.
just saying I can. Like
is that like I'm a priest? Trust me, I won't touch you, kind of thing.
Yes. No, I'm just saying I'm an ordained minister, so I can freak.
All right, so Matt Volt, if you read my books, you know about Matt Volt.
Yes, Matt Volt.
Matt Volt's the reason why I was banned for life from Notre Dame University, right? Like, he tried to kidnap a midget in a bar. He's actually a doctor now. He's gonna probably try to sue me for mentioning his first and last name on it. He's actually the guy's an ordained minister. He got it. I actually paid $8 online for that title.
I'm an ordained minister as well.
We'll come down. All right. So then you'll be our shaman, and we'll do our ayahuasca ceremony. You can lead the way, so to speak, and we'll all just have an interesting weekend.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, there you go. I am an ordained minister.
So. Hey, I'm calling your bluff. All right?
No, it's not a bluff. I'm serious.
Fly down to Cabo San Lucas, and I'm not that far from there. We'll do. Trust me, I'll ping you on the e-invite because that's how I'm a classy guy. I'm not going to pay for calligraphy.
No, you have to just give me a date.
Let's say February 2018.
February 2018. 2018.
2018.
Yeah, bro. I got stuff going on, all right?
My calendar's open.
I got
all right,
stuff
there you
going on.
And then maybe if I can, I'm pretty sure I can get a hold of my shroom guy. We can do that too.
By February 2018, you're pretty sure that you could get us a bag of mushrooms?
I'm pretty sure. Not
about the mushrooms.
A bag, like a truckload.
I want some ayahuasca. Anyway, February 18th. It's in my calendar. I just put it in. Just saying.
Perfect.
And I will ordain your marriage.
Nobody what? No, you're the shaman. Jesus.
Whatever. Either way, whatever he wants. I'm just saying. I'm an ordained. The guy. I'm the guy.
You're the dude.
I'm the guy.
The dude.
I'm so jealous.
Did we determine who the dude was?
You're.
I think you're
Miguel.
Leo, I think you're the dude.
I'll be the dude.
You're the dude.
I'm cool with being
I might be half dude, half Walter. I don't know. Yeah. Who's Donnie in this situation? Because whoever that is isn't going to make us 2018.
No, right. Donnie's like a...
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Shut the fuck, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
You're like a small child wandering into a dark... You have no frame of reference. God damn it.
Got no frame of reference.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. This is what
happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Yep.
This is what happens. Do you want to see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
Do you want to see what happens? Yep.
If you don't, so many people right now, so many people are like, all right, I'm done listening to this shit.
Yeah, right.
So Leo,
and a good day to you, sir.
You know what those people are? Those people are not Big Lebowski fans, and you know what? Fuck those people. Let them get off. You know what? Hey, you right now that's listening, as you stop listening because you don't know anything about the Big Lebowski. Understand this is your fault, not ours. You don't have any frame of reference.
And obviously you haven't been on enough deployments to watch enough Big Lebowski.
Right. Oh, dear God. There you go. Leo Jenkins, thank you so much for joining us on this awesome episode of Cigars and Sea Stories. You are a bitchin' sweet, awesome dude. And we would be fucking grateful to have you back when you rejoin, the world after this.
Society.
I just think the next time we do one of these podcasts, you guys should be down in Baja, Mexico. We should all be on shrooms.
Yeah.
And we both concur.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Hey, bring your microphone.
I will. It's happening.
For sure.
We did this.
I'm here.
God bless America. No one else.
Yeah, exactly.
Mulan,
I love my job.
Yes. Folks, if you haven't already done so, click subscribe, rate, review the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM. Make sure that you grab Leo Jenkins' book, First Train Out of Denver. Marty Skovlund Jr., who you guys heard on a couple of different podcast episodes.
Episode 11. Yeah, 10 and 11, right?
I think it might be 11 and 12. I don't know, but we have Matt Sanders on there also.
Yeah.
So that guy's a cunt.
He really is. He's a fuck. You need to tell him to return a phone call every once in a while. Jesus, you know what I mean? Jesus. Anyway, some people's kids. Cue the music.